Hello, friends. Welcome back to Go Buff Yourself and Thousand Faces Cosplays present City of the Crimson Tower. It's been a little while since we've all been together, but I'm so happy to be back with you all. Merry Christmas, happy sixth night of Hanukkah, happy holidays, happy winter solstice, happy Hanukkah solstice dualimus. All of those things and none of those things, whatever it is, but happy winter. We are so glad that you are here with us, and I am joined once again by 5 of my favorite people. We are going to be jumping into Chapter 16 of the City of the Crimson Tower. But before we do, we have a few general announcements. First of all, this is an 18-plus stream for language, content, legal out-of-game drug use, legal in-game or illegal in-game drug use. So just be aware of that. This episode, along with all past episodes, though it takes me a little while, I do it all by myself, but will be going up on the Go Buff Yourself podcast. So it takes me a little bit because it's about a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 ratio work to hour. So I spend about 2 to 3 hours editing each hour on there. So forgive me, I'm catching up. We're going to have the New Year or the Christmas one-shot, a Mothership session inspired by Die Hard, up there by tomorrow is my goal. By tomorrow night. That was an absolute blast, literally and figuratively. Any other announcements right now anyone can think of? I am going to, of course, give everyone the opportunity to shout out their socials and everything like that at the end of the stream, but any pre-stream announcements? No? Well, I'm going to make one pre-stream announcement before I forget. I have a talkative cat that is keeping me company here. Love him to death. And so, it is going to be canon that there is at least one cat wandering around the bar where the players currently are. That's the justification. If you hear a cat, that's in-game. I'm pumping that in. It's dedication. All right, y'all. I think we should go ahead and run that intro so we can start Chapter 16 of the City of the Crimson Tower. Back. When we last were in Barraville, over a month ago out of game, so some reminders need to be had. The 5 had left the town of Bridgewater with 2 new members in tow. One, a scrappy little dog, Lancelot, that they discovered in their first adventure here in Barraville, and the second, Ira, sibling of the now mayor of Bridgewater. Mark, the mayor, had asked you all to take Ira with you if you were leaving town, feeling that it was no longer safe here for them, and you had ample example as to why. From the aggression of the survivors in Bridgewater towards Ira, threatening to, or demanding rather, that Mark hand Ira over to Strahd von Zorovich. You all left town with these 2 new members in search of, first, a few things. One, an apparent weapons cache you were informed of that had been left in one of the nearby alleys. But second, a old woman, a member of the Vista, Miss Eabha, who had spoken to you all briefly in your dreams, and that Mark himself recommended you seek out. Whether she would prove a wise woman or a mad woman, that's yet to be seen. After your first face-to-face encounter with the lady of this land, Stradia von Zarovich herself, you had some other run-ins with a zombified family, some visions as two of you headed into the mists, but eventually, with Ira's guidance, you managed to find Tser's Bar and Billiards. And the place that you discovered inside was the liveliest experience you have had since arriving in Barraville and Bridgewater. Music was playing, brightly colored clothing worn by the individuals here, smiles and laughter and song. And after taking this in for a little while, one of the Vista, here a bear of a man, told you all that Miss Eabha was waiting for you in back. And with you all heading back and being guided towards one of the back rooms where, in lieu of a door, there was a curtain. As you stood outside, the voice of an old woman beckoned you in and told you not to keep an old woman waiting. And she called you in by name. So, when we left off, you all had headed inside. The room that you entered into is cushy in the sense that it is soft. The furniture in here draped with heavy blankets, large pillows, curtains on the walls, tapestries, almost no hard surfaces left unsoftened. And from behind one of the curtains, you can see the shape of an old woman, and a cat brushes by your legs, wandering through this area. You don't have to stop him. I said it's canon. This is now canon. This cat is here. Sally is trying to bribe the cat into being a little quieter. Mark. Sorry, cat shenanigans. But as the cat brushes past your leg, you see the silhouette of a figure behind one of the silk curtains that drapes down in here. And it's a hunched figure.
About time you all got here. Now,
coming around, pushing through the curtain, a very, very old woman. She has slightly tan skin, a mop of white hair with just a little bit of gray still in there, but it is pretty much entirely starkly white. Her eyes are milky, though you can tell that they were a vibrant blue once. She's wearing many layers of draping clothing, warm wrapping her up, so that you can't tell if beneath this is a slight skeletal woman or a plump one. All you can see is just this mound of draping cloth and clothing as she is bundled up and makes her way towards the table that is set into the ground. But there are no chairs here. There are pillows and cushions. And she slowly squats down, her creaking bones popping audibly as she does. And she lowers herself. She looks up to each one of you in turn.
Gloria, the Inquisitor. Hawthorne. Raconteur. Yes, I know. I know. Nyne. The Enforcer?
Brawk. And she looks at you with almost a look of pity on her face.
The Cynic. Karina? Mistress, eh? And Ira. The Returned. What can an old woman do for all of you?
I mean, you were the one that asked us here through our dreams.
Oh, good.
And then
you
summoned
actually
us
got
to-
that. Whew.
Yeah.
Sometimes I reach out to people and they just dismiss it, never remember their dreams. Oh, good.
Okay. So, what do you want with us? It's what I was asking. And she's gonna plop down on a cushion. She's still holding her little opium pipe and a lighter, but she hasn't lit it yet. She's just gonna sit cross-legged across from Miss Eabha.
The lot of you. You stand on a precipice. You stand at the cliff, the base of which you cannot even see. I wish to help you. But I can't. Not yet. Not yet. If you wish to pursue this path that you have already started to walk, come to the Ivlis Bridge at midnight tonight. I shall await you there. Come alone. Do not allow yourselves to be followed.
Couldn't you just tell it? Oh, okay.
Don't question my reasons, Brooklyn. Cynic
I think
indeed.
Brawk had a really good point. Why can't you just tell us now? Also, I don't even know if we're really familiar which path we're supposedly taking right now. We kind of don't know exactly where we're going. At least I don't know where we're going.
I'm more worried about who's gonna follow us. Who's following us here?
Good question.
She looks at you with those milky eyes. Gloria, you're...
Oh, I just like hearing that people are following us. I'd love to, at some point in a lull in the conversation, try to look around the room and see if I see any animals that look like the type that Strahd has been using to spy on us. I realize I didn't even really check. Just want to peek around.
Other than the cat, which at this point has curled up around, like, in the lap of Miss Eabha, you don't see any bats or rats or any other, certainly no wolves or anything like that, or large dogs in here. And as you are looking around, Gloria, the rest of you are asking these questions.
Questions? Many questions, so many questions. If you want help from me, midnight tonight. And if you don't want it, Karina and Brawk, then don't show up.
Well, we do, just to
I'll
clarify,
be there.
when you say midnight tonight, that's technically the start of the next day. Are you wanting us to come a little bit before? midnight?
As you're saying this, she just looks at you, and you know that moment when a grandmother just hears you spouting BS and just looks at you, doesn't have to say anything, but it just inspires you to kind of
look.
Okay, but she just looks at you.
The one in a few hours, Gloria.
Great. Just making sure.
And she cracks a cracked smile.
Inquisitor. When you're right, you're right. Well, go!
See you later.
As you start to stand from the place where you sat down less than 2 minutes ago, after this very quick audience, as you start to stand up and head towards the curtain that acts as a door, Gloria, I'll say that you, because you were the one who was looking around, you notice that Miss Eabha, though she was starting to say something, stops and closes her eyes and becomes very still for a few seconds. And then they suddenly flash open wide. And when she speaks again, her voice is a low hiss. The candlelight that illuminates this space flickering across her silhouette.
A shadow is approaching. A lone servant of darkness. They seek knowledge of your future, secrets that I am sworn never to reveal to any but their keepers. Do not look, children, nor rush to greet them if they learn of your true potentials. All may be lost. Do not reveal even that you know of their true nature, for the Master will know that I have told you, and his wrath, and her wrath will descend upon all of us. Go.
And Brock's gonna go.
As
Karina will linger for a second on, like, just behind the curtain. And she wants to look into the eyes of Miss Eabha. You said they were a little milky.
Mhm.
Are they, like, to the point of blindness? Or do they seem like she can still see well?
Tough to say. They are definitely cloudy. I would say you could make a healing check, because that's
Actually
the
have
closest
that
to
now.
that's the closest to medicine to try to deduce that.
7.
7. With how cloudy her eyes are, you're fairly confident that she doesn't have any sight anymore. But that doesn't stop her from following you with her gaze.
Karina will give one last look over her shoulder and then just walk away.
Is anyone else lingering in here, or is everyone exiting? Okay.
As I exit, can I just, like, she specifically mentioned these people coming to meet us. And so I realized I never really looked at the other people here at the bar. I'd like to just kind of make a note of everybody I see so that I can try to be like, oh, this person's not the same or something. Just
Got
have an idea of who's around.
Love it. At first I was like, you're not going to make me describe every person in the bar, are you?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I'm taking a running active list of everyone. But
No, I'm taking a strong recollection of what they look like so that if I see somebody else following us from the bar.
Totally dig it. But actually, as you all step out from the curtain doorway, the meow... I was literally about to say the meowing cat.
The meowing cat. Oh my god.
incredible. I couldn't have done that better. The meowing cat that you can still hear a little bit behind you. But in the hallway, just about 10, 12 feet from the door that you exit out of, there are two people, neither of which are the bear of a man who guided you back here. They're both dressed in the style of a lot of these individuals around here, which is closely tailored, well cut suits, but they typically have colorful accessories, from the buttons, pocket squares, lining of the coat, even the lining of the sleeves, just that give this hint of brightness that the rest of this gray place doesn't really have. The two that you see are a young man and a young woman. The young man looks kind of weaselish and a little nervous looking with the way that he hugs himself as he's out there and is tapping his hand on his arm, not even to the rhythm of the music, so it's more of a nervous tap. The young woman who's there, who has pretty extraordinarily curly brown hair and is wearing a suit, and as soon as you all step out and see them, just a few seconds later, the larger man who guided you here steps back out from around a corner and joins all of you as well. The young woman approaches the five of you immediately after you step out. New folks here. Nice to meet you. My name is Eliza. Stanimir. And she gestures towards the large bearded man approaching. Where are your manners? We have new friends, new guests. They're clearly weary, and not a one of them has a drink in their hand. How do you justify yourself, Stanimir? And the large man, just gives a chuckle. Fate waits for no one, Eliza. And Eliza gives a, fine. But Eliza does make a good point. All of you need drinks to rest your feet and enjoy some music. Here, follow me. And he starts heading back towards the main area.
Hawthorne would follow very, very close in suit. He is ready for his drink that he's been waiting for.
And Brawk would kind of skitter a bit to catch up to Hawthorne. How coming?
As you all start to head that way following Stanimir, the Weasley-looking man. Is it alright if I come too? And
I don't see why not.
he does like a quick step to catch up next to you and says, I heard that you just got here from Bridgewater. Yeah? I haven't heard much from there.
Yes, we did.
Is there any news?
I don't think there's much changed in the last few days. It's kind of a bit of a ghost town.
And he just kind of nervously nods and keeps walking along with your group. Is everyone heading that way? Okay. Yeah?
Nyne, you still have a watch, right?
Yeah, I do.
What time is it?
Nyne takes out his watch, clicks it open.
It is, at this point, God, when you left, it's about 4:30, 5.
So we have like hours and hours until we have to be at the bridge. We also don't exactly know where the bridge is. Would you say that we have like 5 hours till we need to be there?
Yeah, it looks to be like 5 o'clock right now. So, and that's a long
for
way
what it's
to the
worth,
other hand.
I know where the bridge is. That's the one that we went over?
right before we
Oh.
found...
That we walked over.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
Okay.
You gotta-
Nyne, will you keep an eye on the time and make sure we don't just, like, not go?
I can do that.
Okay.
Not too hard.
As this conversation is happening, the rest of you following behind Stanimir as he heads towards... There's a part of the bar that still actually has like a hearth and fireplace, comfy chairs around it. It's almost a little out of place given the rest of the decor with the chandeliers and lamps that hang from the ceiling. It feels a little antiquated, but it is still well tended and taken care of with a roaring fire. Several comfortable chairs and chests and furs and rugs all lined here. And as you approach, Stanimir, here, take a seat, and almost pushes one of you like down into the chair in making sure that you get a seat. Pushes over like a little footrest for a few of you. Now, what's everyone's drink of choice, huh? We got a better selection here than a lot of the other places. Yeah, we got gin, but if you're wanting wine or mead or beer, we can get to that.
A nice red would be nice. Sorry, Brawk.
No, it's okay. I was just going to ask if you had any lemonade.
Don't know. I can ask.
Brawk, you're gonna have some mead with me. Brawk and I are gonna have some mead.
Never mind. Apparently, I'm having some mead.
Well, you all are friends of the Vista now, so our drink is your drink, our fire is your fire. Give me a second to get all that. And takes a few very long strides towards the bar. He is a big man. And as he is heading over collecting the drinks, the other two, Vista, who had been talking with you, also settle in around the fire. The nervous-looking man.
I'm Tori, by the way. Nice to meet you all.
Good to meet.
Arturi scoots closer to the fire, sitting like on the ground next to it, and starts to... It's not cold down here, but he starts to warm his hands next to it and stare into the fire a little bit. Looks over his shoulder to the woman who introduced herself as Eliza.
Been a little while since I've been around a Vista fire.
Are Nyne and I back over here by this point?
Sure.
Nyne, I just look at you. That doesn't seem right.
Not really cold down here. Hey, you. A fire. What's your name again?
Tori?
Dory. Okay, nice to meet you. I'm Nyne. Hey, you good over there?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, just nothing.
No. There's no nothing.
It's
Doing okay?
He winces a little bit.
It's a complicated situation, but I'm all right. Thank you. Question.
Beating on you?
What?
Am I beating on you or something?
No, not exactly now. But you all, you said that you were in Bridgewater, yeah? While you were there, did you have meet a man, name of Rudolph?
Who the fuck's that?
Say, he's a doctor?
I don't know no doctor. The only one that I know is Angel over here, so that's about it.
What are you talking about doctors for? As Stan Amir walks back and starts shoving drinks into people's hand. We're here to laugh and sing and tell stories. Speaking of, anyone else up for a game of stories? Looks around to the other two Vista. Absolutely. I can play.
Hey, oh, all right.
Turns to the five of you. Oh, do you know how to play? Very simple game. We, Vista, pride ourselves on being storytellers. There's a lot of boring nights when you're traveling on the road. So, the game is simple. We each tell a story. Not just any story. Story that will pull at your heartstrings. That'll make you laugh or cry. This story can be true, false, or somewhere in between. You tell the story, and we all try to guess which. Person who guesses the most stories right wins. Not a very nuanced game, I'll admit.
Do you mind if I take care of something first?
Of course. You wouldn't be talking about leaving the bar, though, right now, would you?
No, I was just gonna step away for a minute.
Just wanted to make sure. I can tell that most of you all are relatively new to the area, so traveling these streets at night, when it's full dark, best avoid it if you can. So, if you're going to be heading outside, please make sure you take someone with you.
Actually, I was planning on going outside, yes. I mean, would one of you want to take me outside? And she's gonna look towards a Tory by the fire.
And he starts looking back and forth as the phenomena of when the person speaking looks at one person for long enough, all the listeners' eyes end up going that direction. And suddenly Arturi finds himself with multiple sets of eyes on him. What? Hey? What? Sure. Yeah. And you see as he checks a watch on his wrist. Yes, fine. All right. After you then.
Wonderful. And she will lead the way outside.
All right.
She's just going to take a single step out the door to the side, and then she's just going to light her opium pipe.
Okay. Then we'll jump back to you and Arturi out there in a second. As Karina does step away, though, the rest of you doing anything? And what drink did Nyne get? Because I don't think we heard Nyne or
Nyne would
Glorious.
have asked for the beer.
Easily done. Gloria, what would you ask for?
Do you have any hot tea?
Oh, yeah, of course, no problem. Do you have a preference of styles? Green, black, fruity?
A black tea would be perfect.
Oh, yeah, no problem, got it. And you all are served your drinks. Stanimir watches the two leave, points the direction. She all right?
Yeah, I just think she needed to step away for a second. What do you think, Nyne?
She does that a lot. She'll be fine. She'll come back a lot more glassy-eyed when she comes back, so it'll be fine.
She usually doesn't stay gone for long.
Well, like I said, once she does get back, it's actually good timing for you all to be here. I think stew is almost done. So, if you all are all right with sharing our hospitality, it would, like I said, probably be best if you don't travel while it's full dark. We have rooms, we have places you can stay. They're not luxurious, but they're comfortable and they're safe.
That's so thoughtful. I I really appreciate that.
You have me at stew, so I'm happy about that.
Wait, so this game, once Karina comes back, can you tell? Do we go in order? What are the rules? Like, how's it determined who? Are you comparing stories?
Oh, no, not about comparison. And in terms of who goes in what order, whoever wants to go next, no. We could roll a die for it, to figure it out if that's preferred. But no comparison. It's just about who guesses right the most times. It's not a complex game, just something to keep us entertained on the road.
Wait, what kind of game can you play with dice?
And you say that, and he gets his eyes go a little wide. Oh, I have so much to teach you. And he, pulls out a pouch of several dice. Okay, so this first game is called Liar's Dice. And we are going to cut outside.
All right. So Karina's going to bring the pipe to her mouth and then after just taking a single drag on it, she's going to turn quickly, grab Atori's collar, and shove him against the wall.
Ah! Whoa! What are you doing?
We need honesty here, Atori. We need everyone to be open, like open books. Tell us about your condition. Tell me about your condition. And I will let you know if you can come back inside or not.
I want you to make a check here. You can do any social check you would like for this that you think is fitting. So that can be intimidation. That can be persuasion. Whichever you want to do.
I think I'll go with intimidation.
Okay.
It's not as good as my persuasion, but it makes more sense.
I respect that. There.
I got a 9.
9 is a raise. He looks up at you, and he's a little taller than you. Not right now. He is shrunk under your gaze. How exactly did you phrase it?
I want to know about his condition.
I don't have a condition.
Then why are you so close to the fire? What were you going to tell us before you stopped talking?
Because, like I said, it's been a long time since I've been able to be around a Vista fire. It felt good. I didn't know what I'll get next time I do it. So I was just savouring it. That's all.
We were told not to trust people. And I don't trust you. I don't trust you at all. I don't trust anyone. These people are kind, and they're showing us kindness, and I still don't trust them. I think it's best for you to walk away.
Yeah, you're probably right. Did feel good, though. Just for me.
You can come back at midnight.
No, I can't. Tell him I'm sorry. That I couldn't say goodbye.
What do you mean you can't come back at midnight?
Don't worry about it.
I'm worried about it now. She's gonna drop him, let go of his and take just a slight step back.
Shame too. I had a really good story.
Why can't you come back at midnight? Tell me something, and maybe I'll trust you. You are incredibly weaselly, and all you do is say these things that drop off. It's terrible. It makes people instantly not trust you. Tell me something so I can trust you. Then you can tell us your story.
I'm not sure exactly what I could tell you that will make you trust me. What? What will make you trust me?
Why you can't come back at midnight?
Because if I do, and this place is in danger, and these people here are in danger, how's that?
So if we leave at midnight, we're putting the place at danger.
No. I am putting the place in danger if I'm here. Not you. Me.
Why? Why won't you just be honest with me? I mean, I guess I didn't really... Okay, I do apologize for coming at you as I did.
Yeah, it's not the best, like, opening salvo in, establishing a truthful, open relationship. Asking someone to come outside with you, slam him against the wall. But I don't blame you for it, for what it's worth. Probably do the same.
It's been a long day.
It's been a very long lot of days.
I am sorry. I'm sorry. Please come back inside with us.
That's very kind of you, and I'll accept your offer, at least for a little while. And then I do have to be going.
I can't say I understand, but fair enough.
You don't have to. That's all right. It's my weight, not yours. Right?
All right.
What's that? And he points his chin towards your pipe.
Oh, do you want some? It's
Smells good.
quite...
I mean,
Yeah.
my...
She'll just hand him the pipe.
He takes the opium pipe. He's like,
my dad, he used to smoke a pipe, but this thing is long.
and he takes the Zippo lighter from you, takes one hit, and starts hacking immediately.
Whatever song that was happened, so what is that?
Oh, shit. I probably should have said you just take this tiny... Yeah.
Oh, well, was I swimming? Oh, hello.
Yeah.
And he looks at you with like a little bit of a drunken look in his eye.
What are you?
Nope, that's...
And he points to that pipe. That right there is dangerous, that's why he's...
All right, let's go back inside. And he takes one step on the steps that leads down to this place and slips and falls on his ass the entire way down. Yeah.
Please, just let me help you. And she's just going to try to pick him up.
And just lets you pick him up. Just...
Could you do me a favor and not tell that part?
The falling down the stairs
The falling
part?
down the stairs part. If you could omit that part from the retelling of this, I'd be very appreciative.
Is there a reason to retell this? We
No,
stepped outside
exactly.
and stepped back
No
inside.
reason. And
Okay,
especially
fair enough.
not that
All right.
part. Walks back inside.
I'm totally not going to tell that as my story.
Heads back inside. By the time the two of you have rejoined, the Stanimir has started bringing out bowls with a rabbit, potato, turnip, lentil, and parsnip stew. There are several generous and hearty chunks of flatbread that are served with each one, and he just brings one to each one of you and then crosses his legs and sits just straight down on the floor and begins to... He looks like a kid at Christmas as he is looking around. So, Who wants to go first? Oh. And he sets his bowl down in front of him. I forgot a very important detail. The wager. You have to bet something. It can be of monetary value to you, sentimental value, anything like that. I'll go first. My wife was a lover of Taroka. I still have one of her decks. Hasn't really been touched, just been gathering dust. I think she would like it to be back out in the world. So, whoever wins, you can carry that part of her with you. Eliza. Sure. Let's see something. Oh, I found this thing recently. It's kind of like a spyglass, but it lets you look around corners. Damn useful thing in a pinch. They look towards your group.
Hawthorne has been sniffing the stew to try and figure out if it's poison or not, because everyone seems a little too happy here.
Make me
and he doesn't get why.
Let's make a notice check for that.
Okay.
As Mav is over there pantomiming, already having taken a bite. Well, in for a penny, in for a pound. Whew! 10. So that is a double explosion. And a double explosion and a double raise. You detect no traces of poison. In fact, your nose is so good, you're like, probably would have been better with a little bit more black pepper. You know, you can, with a double raise, you can dang near write down the ingredients list. But no detectable poison right now.
So Hawthorne will put his face, like, literally in it, not using a spoon because he's a minotaur and he would just eat a little bit of it. And he would pull out his brass knuckles with his other hand and say, I've had these here. This is in the pot now.
And the brass knuckles get offered up. Artori.
Karina will pull out. Karina will pull out the small golden Zippo lighter that she uses. Flick it once, and then she'll just drop it in the pot.
Just writing down everyone's wagers really quick, just in case they become relevant. Artori. I came across a interesting piece of writing on werewolves by some kind of expert. So, whoever wins can have it. I don't think it'll do me much good. And when Artori says, I don't think it'll do me much good, Karina, he just gives like a flicking glance to you. Just a split second.
She's just gonna give him, like, the slightest nod.
Can I play? Ira has in their hand a little painted wooden hair clip. I used to wear this when I was little. That look on your face, Gloria, were you gonna say a hair clip? Oh my god! And you haven't pulled. No, do it anyway. You can be twinsies.
I put it back in my hair.
Oh, I have to give you take a Benny.
Back.
Please take a Benny because I saw the face reaction as I said hair clip. So, Gloria, you get a Benny for that. And so as you slide the hair clip back in, do you offer something else instead?
Yeah, I'm flustered. I had a plan as people were going around. I'll just pop open my clutch, be like, and just pull out my little compact mirror and that I've used throughout our adventure so far.
Love it. Brawk?
Oh, we gotta
Nyne?
give things up. Oh, wow.
Well, only if you want to play. If you just want to be an observer, no need. But you can't vote.
Hey, Nyne, did you pull some teeth from something at some point? I thought you were pulling teeth from something we fought. I think you got that.
Yeah. What? Here you go. I got some of these cool weird teeth that I found.
If memory serves, didn't you pull the... Was it the wolf? Was it one of the
It was
wolves?
the wolf. He
I
pulled
thought
one
so.
of the wolf's teeth in the house.
I pulled one of these out of a fucker that tried to take a chunk out of me. So there you go.
As you set down this tooth, it is a big canine tooth. And Stanimir can't help but reach forward and pick it up. You said this tried to take a chunk out of you.
Oh, it actually did, and kind of lifts his shirt up just a little bit.
Ooh, and Stanimir just like leans in, just like, that's a guy showing scars.
Yeah.
And just
Hawthorne gets in on it too. You're like, yeah, man.
oh, immediately, like when you start getting in on, like, then Stanimir pulls his shirt aside to show his left shoulder. See that? Yeah, my cousin. Mm. And the battle stories.
He bit you or he stabbed you.
Look, he was not all there, and we had been drinking a lot, and I said things I probably shouldn't have. I'll admit that, but
Brawk is kind of, as you guys are talking about scars, he's holding his arms kind of awkwardly, and they trail down to the sides of his legs, and he just kind of pats his legs a couple times. Yes, scars are cool, I guess, right?
and Stanimir just looks at you for a second. This scrawnier, slighter guy, especially in comparison to him, and he just appraises you for a second. Yeah, little guy gets it. What's your story?
Yeah.
Or never mind, maybe you'll save it, and I don't want to guess before we play the game, so I'll wait.
Oh, okay.
Are you playing, though? Because if so, you have to wager something.
And he pats the coat pockets as well as his pant pockets, and from one of his breast pockets, he pulls out a magnifying glass, but it's cracked in the middle. I fall a lot, so you get two different visions in one convenient little package. And he puts the magnifying glass down on top of everything else.
Stanimir, after the last bet has been made, looks around at everyone and again gets that childlike excitement. All right, I'll go first. And he takes a swig of the drink that was in his mug, bends down towards the hearth because he's such a tall man, and he spits into the fire, and the flames turn from orange to green. And as they dance and sway, a dark shape appears in the fire's center. And let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll come back to our game of stories. So don't go anywhere, as we are going to be starting the first entry in our story game here in just a second. We will be back in 5 to 7 minutes. So don't go anywhere, friends. See you soon. Right next to each other can be problematic sometimes. So, Stanimir takes a mouthful of whatever drink is in his cup, bends down towards the fire in the hearth, blows into it, and the orange light of the flames turn green. And as they dance and sway you begin to see the shape of a dark figure appearing in the core of the fire. We come from an ancient land, whose name is long forgotten. A land of kings. Our enemies forced us from our homes, and now we wander the lost roads. The shape in the fire begins to take a distinct form. It's the shape of a figure being knocked from a horse as a spear pierces their side, blood spraying. Those of you who have the capacity for magics of any variety can roll me those relevant abilities, such as occult, alchemy, anything like that, at this moment, just to try to figure out how this is being done.
$15 in occult.
Okay. Brawk?
5.
5. So you both succeed, but Gloria succeeds with 3 raises, if my math is correct.
I'm really curious.
Yeah.
I just am staring at it.
So both of you are able to identify that Stanimir is the alcohol that he spit into the fire did almost nothing other than cause the flames to just burn a little bit hotter for a second. The coloration and the shape, both of you catches fingers as they dance and trace similar movement patterns to the figure in the fire. And both of you are able to tell he's using magic. Gloria, with your raise, you're able to tell that it's a type of illusion magic, harmless, but very effective for a storyteller. And so as the shape falls from the shadow horse and onto the ground, one night, a wounded soldier staggered into our camp and collapsed. We nursed his terrible injury, quenched his thirst with our wine, and he lived. When we asked who he was, he wouldn't say. All he wanted was to return home. But we were deep in the land of his enemies at the time. We ended up taking him in as one of our own, and we followed him back to his homeland. And his enemies hunted him every step of the way. They said he was a prince, and yet we never gave him up. Even when their assassins and soldiers and sellswords fell on us like wolves. Deep in the fire, the dark figure you see now standing with a sword drawn, fighting off a host of other spectral, shadowy shapes that appear in the fire. This man of royal blood fought to protect us, as we fought to protect him. We bore him safely to his home, and he thanked us. He said, "I owe you my life. Stay as long as you wish, leave when you choose, and know that you will always be safe here." The figure in the dancing fire vanquishes its final foe, and then disperses in a cloud of smoke and embers, and the green flames return to orange and yellow. And as it does, he turns back towards you all. He had been staring into the fire this whole time as he was telling this story. Turns back to you all, and despite the voice he was using as he was telling the story, he turns back around with a smile. So, what are your votes? The three options, just so you know: true, false, half true. You were saying, though, Gloria?
I was like really watching this fire.
Okay.
And staring at it. So could I get the sense that this felt like it was practiced movements? I feel like if I was really watching him perform this magic, does this seem like the type of, like, did it seem very...
I can, with that many raises, you don't even need to make a notice check here, because the way that you're able to determine this is his fluency with the magical hand patterns. It is a practiced motion. So you get the impression that this story has been told by Stanimir multiple times.
Then I'm going to vote that it's true.
I agree. True.
I think it's true.
I think it might be half true.
Half true.
Hawthorne finishes his drink. And he says, I'm with them on the half true. This is bowl.
I think it's true, Eliza says.
Half true. I'm going to say half true.
Stanimir takes a practiced, dramatic pause once everyone has said. Half true. The story itself is true. But it was no man. The soldier was a woman. And he just glances up for a second, even though all he's doing is looking at the ceiling. Strahd Vanzarovich herself, before she ever came to Barrowville. It was her promise, then, that allows us Vista to remain safely in this valley, without fear or favor. And Arturi just gives a satisfied,
Yeah, half true.
while Eliza goes, "Oh, that's not fair, just changing that one detail." It's not fully true, though, is it, Eliza? Yeah. Fine. So those of you who voted half true, you can count one correct answer on your tally. Well, who's next then? And Stanimir looks around expectantly.
I have a story.
He immediately sits down on the plushy rug and looks at you with just big eyes, just a boy getting told a story around the fire.
She's gonna stand up, most dramatically, pull a cigarette from her pocket, then fumble a little bit as she realizes she doesn't actually have her lighter anymore because it's in the middle of the pot. So she'll take Nyne's offered flame. This is a story I was told a while ago. Of a little girl. Deep in the woods. She was 6, maybe 7. A beautiful girl with the beautiful name of Marie. Blue eyes that were like the sky when the sun still shone. Gorgeous. But she loved to wander the ruins of this old graveyard deep in these woods. And every day she would run out there and pick the grave flowers. Tiny little blossoms that matched her blue eyes. She would put them in her dark hair and skip around the broken graves. She swore that there was friends, voices that kept her company. It's a lonely town she came from, but as she would skip through the graves, collecting the blossoms, till she had her hands, her little dimpled hands full of blossoms, she would make her way home, bring them home to her aged grandmother. Only when she got home, there was no home. Her wooden house that never quite sat straight, gone. Ruins, aged, rotten wood. But every day she came home. Every day they were gone. It's rumored she still wanders. She still skips and collects flowers in that graveyard. My lover swore he saw her once. Swore he saw those blue eyes in the forest. Heard her little gentle laugh as she giggled away. What do you say? Do you believe in ghost stories?
Stanimir just gives a big smile at the end of it. I want to think it's true. Half true.
I'm gonna say false. Lover. I don't think that's what you would call him.
I'm saying false too, Karina. I don't believe that.
I gotta go with Zarlo in there too. So, false.
I'm going to say it's true.
That's what I was thinking, but now I'm not sure.
Stranger
I'm
things
letting
have
other people's
happened than
votes impact me.
I am easily swayed. Who hasn't cast their vote? Brawk?
I'm skeptical. Though a beautiful story, though beautiful. I don't think it's true.
I'll say half true again. Eliza chimes in.
I'm
Karina
sticking
will
to
just
true.
smile.
Sticking to true.
She's going to just smile and open up the first page in her dream journal. And there's just a sketch of a 6 or 7-year-old girl, like the description of her girl, the person she was talking about. I don't know if this counts as half true, but I think it's all bullshit. And she'll just close the book and sit down.
So I'm going to say that's going to count as false. So those of you who chose false, mark down another success.
I knew it.
Eat soup. You know I don't trust half the shit that comes out of your mouth anyway.
I don't think you trust anything that comes out of my mouth, Nyne.
Take a
I'm gonna
Benny.
whisper to Brawk. I think I might be too gullible.
You are.
They all
Darling.
sound true. Karina, I wasn't talking to you.
You talk loud.
It's okay. It's okay.
I can read y'all like a book, and then Hawthorne's gonna hold up his glass to like get another drink, trying to get another drink. I didn't know if there's like a waiter who'd come around, or if he would have to get up and get one.
At this point, actually, great point. So first of all, Karina, take a Benny for that story. By this time, in the bar, with dinner having been served and passed around, the music, which was lively and upbeat, has shifted as the evening has drawn on. It's quieter. There are a few Vista in here still, about 7 or 8, not counting yourselves. A few of them in a corner bar, just quiet, or corner booth, just quietly playing a violin. There are a few just hanging around, one who has passed out underneath a table, but has quieted down in here. So to go get a drink, actually at this point you either need one of the Vista or to go behind the bar yourself and get it.
Well, Hawthorne's gonna wave around and then just kind of give up. To be honest, He's gonna be like,
oh no! If you start waving, Stanimir immediately jumps to
Okay.
get it. Is it one again? Same thing.
more mead. I need
mead.
more mead
Absolutely.
here. Yeah.
And
Oh, thank you, Stanimir. Thank you.
just brings the bottle over and
And
sets
then
it down.
Hawthorne will literally take the whole bottle.
Not exactly what I meant, but hey, we've got extra. That's fine. But your guests. Eliza clears her throat. My turn? It is said that within every raven flutters a lost soul, and that each raven's song tells a tale of ages past, stories forgotten. They whisper, so listen close. She takes a deep breath, and when she speaks again, her voice is quieter. The cat that had been in Miss Eabha's room has come out here where all of the action is and is starting to curl up by the fire. Sing, O ravens of Barovia, a name since discarded, a land birthed from mists and bathed in twilight. Sing of Lugdana, the Morning Lord's servant, dawn-touch servant, foe to the deep lurking dark, the symbol of black feathers, her radiant testament, the warrior's beacon of faithful resolve. Sing, O raven, of Chernavog's rise, named green god and demon lord upon Yestrel. Lugdana, gray-haired, weary of battle, her long sword and shield yet polished and ready. Guided through shadows toward sacred ground, she clashed with the demon, their tempest-like dance. Sing, O ravens, of Lugdana's last fury, of ravenkind's token now blazing with light. The battle's tide turning, a hero's brave cry, a final onslaught with divinity's grace. The demon lord banished, the warrior now fell, the wound at her side gouged too deep to bear. Sing, O ravens, of light's final moments, a shadow descending from radiance on high. Sing of the angel, black-feathered and beaked, the Morning Lord's angel reclaiming its gift, the symbol retaken, in raven's claws held. Sing through me, O ravens. You are the keepers, the watchers, the tellers of stories untold. Sing, O ravens of Lugdana's memory, the shadows that lurk, and heroes to come. And she gives a small dip of her head to indicate the end of her story. I've heard that story. Well, a version of it. True. I've always hoped it was.
I'm going to say partially true because, I don't know for sure. I feel like birds, anyway, half true.
I think I'll go with true. I like the sentiment.
Half true. It seems like a story that's been told over and over. The details have to be muddled.
False. Sounds like something that we want to believe. I hope I'm wrong.
Hawthorne was like caught in almost like a stare because he's a little intoxicated, so he was just staring at her while she was saying the whole story. He comes out of it and he's like, well, this is a tough one because it sounds like something we want to believe, like you said, but sounds like something that could also be true, especially in this world. And so he's going to say true.
I'll say true as well. Arturi votes. What about the last of you?
I'm gonna go with true. I've seen weird things in this place, in this town, and where we at. And you know what? Gives a little bit of a hope. So, yeah, fuck it. True.
Is that everybody? All right. Eliza, with less polished dramatic pause compared to Stanimir's, half true. The legend is, at least if it's to be believed, all of those details about Lugdana, true. But, and she chuckles, no one knows
what happened to the holy symbol of black feathers after she fell, nor where it is today. So mostly true.
Little bit of a lie, though.
Do I get to pick who goes next? And she looks to Stanimir. Unless there's a volunteer.
I'll go next.
Kind of waves off Eliza, who seems almost a little put out that she wasn't able to assert some authority.
Oh, sorry. Never mind. I will
No,
wait.
no,
Why
go.
don't
You go. You go. It's fine.
Okay. So, there's a story where there once was a little boy. And this little boy was always really interested in birds. He'd watch them, observe them, keep an eye on them, and wish that he knew what they were saying, that he could understand the language of the birds. And then one day, he was playing along a riverbed when suddenly a large storm started to roll in. There are 4 little chicks, and, well, 3 little chicks and 1 mother. And the little boy saved them from the storm. And as a thank you for saving them, they taught him the language of the birds. Soon he was able to hear hidden prophecies, whispers, as they spoke and sang and called out to him. But one of the prophecies he heard, it frightened him. He was told that he would no longer be the son of merchants, for his parents were merchants, but instead he'd be the son of a king. And this scared his dad probably more than it scared him. And soon his dad sent him away. After traveling and hearing from the birds, he found his way to a far-off kingdom, where there a king was upset because he was plagued by 3 ravens that were sitting on his window and wouldn't leave him or his daughter alone. And the boy, who knew the language of the birds, was able to speak to the 3 of them, solve their riddle, and fell in love with the king's daughter, the princess. And soon that prophecy he heard when he was younger came to pass. He married the king's daughter and became the son of a king. But as he started to find his happily ever after and found love, one day he realized he heard a tweeting and the twittering of birds outside his window, and he couldn't understand him anymore.
I think that's half true. I think there's truth buried in there, and a little bit of fantasy as well. You're a good storyteller, though.
Agreed. So I'll go with true.
Half true over here.
False. Eliza
I think it's
says
false.
in a slightly annoyed voice.
Karina will just glare at Eliza and then look back at Gloria. I agree with Eliza, but I don't agree with her tone. I think it was false, but it was a lovely story.
I also believe it to be false, though. Beautiful, and I would love to hear more in this world.
Nyne is awestruck right now at this point. It was like yourself. It was beautiful. But I'm gonna have to. Really good fucking story, Angel. I'm gonna
As you're stammering and saying this, Stanimir, who wasn't sitting that far from you, just kind of like leans over and thuds your thigh with his knuckles. Hey,
yeah, false. It's false. False. Yeah.
And Arturi was again hugging himself a little bit, making himself small, but while looking down, he's looking up. His eyes are looking up, and he just has like this sheepish little smile watching you stammer, trying to talk to her, and just gives a little
I'll go with half true.
and I think that's everyone.
That's everyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is folklore. And so folklore often has hints of truth woven in. But I think it's a measure of how much truth remains, whether you say half true or false. And for this one, I was going to, while this has been told, I think it's, I'm not really sure how long it's been told, actually. I think that's something I can't remember right now, but I was going to go with false.
Oh. That's on me. And Stanimir, even though this isn't a drinking game, in response to being wrong, like picks up his drink and swigs it back as if it is. Maybe there are some versions that are played that way. Tally it down if you got it right. We gotta know who claims all the loot. Anyone want to go next?
Hawthorne says, "Oh, well, heck, okay. I'll go next."
They settle in, getting ready for another story. Drinks are refilled for any who need them. A few Vista have started to, who were out here, even a few who had gone back to go to sleep, from the youngest at about like 7 or 8. But a few Vista, about 5 or 6, have started to gather nearby. Not in any type of like mob way. They've moved a little bit closer to the fire, to the stories, to listen, even though they're not playing. And you can hear during the voting on Gloria's, there were some soft whispers from the spectators.
I think it's false. I'm pretty sure it's false. No, it's gotta be after, don't you think?
So Hawthorne starts to settle and he sets the mead down in front of him, and he puts his hand in his pocket, and you can tell he's playing with something. He says, "Well, it's kind of interesting that you guys have tales about kids, because mine's one too." And so he starts, "There was once a girl named May. She wasn't my sister, not really. But when you grow up with someone in a place like we did, that's what you call each other. Sisters, brothers, family. May was the smallest of us, big eyes, always wide with wonder, always asking questions no one had the answers to. Why's the sky blue? Do you think birds dream? Oh, May. Oh, my favorite. Why do we have pockets when there's nothing to put in them?" She'd laugh every time she asked that one, but we all knew it wasn't really a joke. May had this way of making you feel big, even when you weren't. Like when you got her to smile, it meant you'd done something worth doing. She used to braid bits of string into little charms for us. "So your pocket isn't empty," she'd say, grinning like she'd solved the greatest mystery of the world. Well, one winter, May got sick. You know, the kind of sick you don't come back from. The rest of us tried to make her laugh like always, but it didn't work. The questions stopped and the smiles stopped, and one day she just wasn't there anymore. After May was gone, we found her little stash of string. Turns out she'd been making charms for us even when she was too weak to tie them properly. A whole pile of them tangled and unfinished. It was like she knew she wouldn't have time to finish them all, but she kept going anyway. This one, and Hawthorne pulls out the braided string from his pocket. This was hers. I don't know if she made it for me or someone else, but it doesn't matter. When I look at it, I remember her questions, her laugh, her way of making the world feel a little brighter, even when there wasn't much light to go around. I like to think May would have wanted me to keep asking questions and trying, even when the strings get tangled. Maybe if I'm lucky, to leave someone else's pockets a little less empty. And then he'll settle back in, put the charm into his pocket, and grab the mead and take another drink.
Stanimir wipes around his eyes. If the story wasn't true, then I suspect you've at least felt something like it. True.
I'd say true too. Might be my tenderness to children, but true.
True.
I'm also going to say true.
Half true. Ira looks at you. False? I think.
I think half true.
I think false.
They all look at you expectantly after everyone has guessed. And again, a few of the family of Vista that have gathered around, you can hear a few sniffles from some of the older folk around.
Do you think that's true, Mommy? Maybe. Let's see.
Hawthorne, one tear rolls down the side of his face, and he pulls out the charm again and says, I think it's half true. I really hope it's true, but I know there's someone who made this for me, and I know it was a kid. I don't know more than that, but I can feel something bigger. So I'm saying half true.
Stanimir stands and walks over to you, and even though you had grabbed the bottle, he delicately takes it from your hand and grabs the glass that had been provided, and he pours more into the glass, hands you the glass, pours some into his own, and silently raises a toast to you. Takes a drink, walks over to the hearth and pours a tiny amount of the mead out onto the stones in front of the fire. The gathered Vista, again, you can hear some sniffles. But from one of the older folk in the back, oh, come on, let's not dwell. Next story.
I think I can lighten the mood. My life is a series of embarrassing and oftentimes unfortunate events. And this is one such moment. Well, 7 hours of horror and delight intermingle. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. I was staying with my great aunt, taking care of her. My mother's favorite in all the family. She had a mushroom garden out back. She loved to grow things. She loved working in her garden. One day, I came in from working in the garden with her. And there, on her stove, was a kettle. Ordinary kettle. I thought to myself, oh, I would love some tea. Absolutely love some tea. That would warm my bones, ease the tension from my body. not an hour later, I started to see things. I started to feel things. My body tingled, and the sun was so bright. And until it went down, I couldn't think about anything other than the sound of the birds in the sky. And I swear, I laid in the grass for hours. Come to find out, my great aunt grew hallucinogenic mushrooms, and I had grabbed the wrong kettle. That was my first time, and my only time since.
As the reveal is spoken, the Vista gathered around, Stanimir, Eliza, Arturi included, and Ira just all start to laugh. The mood immediately lightened as the youngest child who had spoken up earlier is tugging on her mother's skirts. "Mummy, I don't understand. What's the tea? What mushrooms?" "Don't worry. You'll probably find out when you're older. Not right now. Just mushrooms. Isn't that silly? Just drink the wrong tea." And the little kid, pacified with this bullshit explanation, "Oh," just laughs along with the joke even though she doesn't get it.
Hawthorne's gonna... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Hawthorne's gonna smack Brawk on the back and go, "Oh, that sounds true. I'm going with true there."
Please say it's true.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with true. Hey, sis, I'm gonna go with true.
I'm going to say half true.
Just to be different, I'll say false.
I'm gonna go for false.
Maybe true. You seem like you might have grabbed the wrong tea more than once. False. Eliza, the last member to vote.
The whole voting process is weirdly stressful. Everybody's gone, right? As he checks his pulse on his neck.
Yes, everybody's gone. Did you drink the magic mushroom tea or not?
It is unfortunately very true. And in addition, cherry on top of this situation, I also, in fact, did soil myself and vomit in the grass as it settled into my stomach. It was unfortunate and further embarrassing. Thank you for creating a safe space for me to share.
Just friendly laughter and jeers and all in good spirit just erupting from around you, even causing a few other individuals who had gone to sleep to come out and start trying to figure out what everyone was laughing about. Arturi checks his watch quickly.
I'll go. X. I'm not as good a storyteller as everyone else, so bear with me. There was once this fox, well known for his cleverness of mind and body, and he lived with his kit in the woods. One night, our sparrows brought him their child, their chick. What was sick, you see. Death clinging to it like its own feathers. The fox took the chick into his den, but for all his knowledge, he could not help the bird. And the chick breathed its last choking breath in the fox's paws. The sparrows, driven mad in their grief, aided by 4 of their kin, they stole the fox's kit in the night. They delivered it to the wolf who had long hungered for the taste of fox blood. Wolf ate the kit, and the sparrows departed to return to their own flock. justice quenching the fire of their pain. When the fox woke and found what the sparrows had done, rage clutched his heart. With his cunning, he knew that the rats in their burrows beneath the earth had always despised the sparrows for their flight and their songs. So the fox went down to the kingdom of the rats, and he promised them a forest free of the songs of the sparrows. Intrigued, the rats agreed to help. But the rats, you see, they could not find a sparrow's nest on their own, too high up. But the crafty fox, he could. And as the sparrows slumbered in the hollow of an ancient great oak, the fox, he led the rats right to the sparrow's nest. The rats take you, as you have taken my child from me. And the rats fell upon the sparrows with tooth and claw. For the crimes of 6, the flock perished with nary an egg spared. They say the misted wood is darkened now, and the trees no longer sing with the songs of the sparrows. But some say that the rats hunt still, that a lone chick escaped their clutches, and that one day they will find it and gobble it up, just like the rest. And he takes a breath as he kind of comes out of whatever fugue state he was in while telling that story. So, true, false, or half true, eh?
Half true.
False?
I'm gonna go with half true.
It has to be false.
I think half true. I think it wasn't about animals. I think it was about people.
Yeah, I'm with Brawk on that one. That was a messed up story. That sounds too real. Half true.
False?
False. Eliza echoes very quickly after. And Stanimir, the last, I believe, to vote, looks at Arturi. True. Yeah. True. That's true.
This is a little bit off, but as he was speaking, did his demeanor change at all when he mentioned the wolf?
His demeanor changed while telling the story. Like, he hunkered down further into himself, and just like Stanimir did, stared into the fire, even though it didn't have the illusion magic going this time. I mean, when he talked about the wolf, he definitely sounded serious about it. But what type of demeanor change would you be looking for?
Any sort of slight changes, like maybe fear or uncomfort, or just
Make me a
tiny.
Make me a notice check. It'll be after the fact, but go ahead and make me that check.
11.
11? Yeah. Whether it be great storytelling or genuine response, Arturi did when he mentioned the wolf. Just stutter over the word a little bit.
Alrighty.
Not something most people would have picked up on, but you did.
Well, who's... We only got, what, 2 left? Huh?
Ira and Nyne. And Ira, realizing they are the other last one, looks at you.
I'll go. Nyne sticks up.
Wait.
Huh?
Wait, was it true? Did I miss that?
Yeah.
Is it false?
No, it's true. It's true.
Oh,
So those of you who said true, you can mark that down as a successful guess. If anyone wants to do anything after the truth, the veracity is revealed before the next story is told, you may, of course. Okay.
Nyne will put his hand on Gloria's shoulder and say, it's okay. It's all right. So, my tale. 2 explorers were going into a tomb. They come across this tomb on the ground here. They dig it up and accidentally open it. And an ancient evil that was locked away for 10,000 years was returned to the world. A vast and powerful sorceress, hell-bent on ruling every bit of the realm. No one could stop her. She could raise monsters from just the flick of her wrist, control legions of golem-like minions. But one day, there was someone that could stand up to her. That entity chose 6 warriors of light, chromatic light, mind you, imbued them with power to be able to stop her and all of her evil that was plagued the realm. Was it a hard-fought fight? It was. But it got to a point where their power wasn't enough. But by standing together, even without their abilities and their powers, they were able to defeat her and send her back again into the hole that she came out of. Forever. But they made a vow to protect the realm if any type of evil raises their head. There you go.
The Vista look at each other after you finish telling. A few of the onlookers, true. It's gotta be true. I've been getting burned by not guessing half true. Half true. True. Eliza seems almost a little shocked at her own guess.
False.
I'm guessing half true. Knowing the way you all play, it's probably going to be something like there were 5 of them.
Right, that's what I'm getting caught up on. But I want to say false.
I'm gonna say true, but it feels too on the money, I mean. But, and he just holds up his hands and leans back. I'm gonna say true.
Turi has failed to vote at this point, and Stanimir gives him a little nudge.
What? Half true. Half true?
You get the impression he was not paying attention to that story fully.
false.
And with all votes cast, 9.
The answer is true.
I'm really bad at this.
One
game.
time I switched to half true. Right then. And Eliza, you're losing it, old man. So if you guessed true, mark it down. And with 9 story completed, eventually. Oh, yeah, Karina?
After noticing Atori being distracted, Karina's just going to focus on him for the rest of this time.
Got it.
Not creepily staring, but kind of creepily staring.
Totally, 100%.
Nyne, I look at you and I like motion to my wrist. Do we know what time it is?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sorry I got your story wrong. You're a really good storyteller. I thought you were trying to trick me. Okay, anyway, do you know what time it is?
First off, I told you I'd never lie to you. So always remember that.
I'll remember that next time.
And
It's about 8:30.
I look at the watch.
About 8:30 or 9.
We're doing 5.
There we go. Yeah.
Eventually, all eyes come to settle on Ira, who has just been sitting kind of small. Right and puffs their chest up a little bit. My turn? Ooh, shouldn't have waited until last. Those were all so good. When I was a child, my father took me and my brother to this beautiful, tranquil lake. I remember the feeling of the sand beneath my bare feet, lapping of the waves. But then something broke the moment. There was a low growl that echoed through the wind. As I turned, I saw a beast emerge from the fog. Dog or wolf, larger than anything I'd ever seen. I can still remember his eyes. Yellow. Cold. Hungry. For the 5 of you, by the way, that description of a canine's cold, yellow, hungry eyes sounds very familiar to something you experienced earlier.
Brawk's shaking a little.
My father, he saw it. He screamed for me to run, and I did. I took off, running for the woods, but the wolf followed me. Its snarls echoed through the underbrush. I remember there were branches whipping against my face, thorns cutting at my feet, and my legs burned. My breath grew ragged. That's where I got the scar. And they point to just this tiny little, 1/4-inch scar near the right eye socket. You'd never even really noticed before because it's so small. No matter how tired I was so afraid I kept running. It was only later, much later, long after the wolf's howls and snarls had gone silent, that I let myself stop running. By then, though, the woods I was in, they were so strange, and I couldn't hear my father's shouts anymore. There was this heavy mist that came down around me, shadowy shapes that surrounded me. I stepped forward, one hand reaching towards the fog. And the wolf, made out of the mist itself, leapt forward, its jaws opened wide to devour me, and then everything went black. The next thing I remembered, I was lying in my own bed. I could hear my father humming from the kitchen. I don't even know how I got there. What became of the wolf? But I can still remember its teeth. As clearly as ever. Made that, and just gestures with her chin a little bit towards where the fang that Nyne wagered is lying. Made that look like it came from a puppy. So, that's my story.
Karina is going to reach out and take Brock's hand after she notices him shaking.
He
Sorry.
is shocked.
Sorry. Are you okay?
I know that experience. I think it's true. And he squeezes your hand a little bit harder, and you can feel how sweaty his hands are.
She's gonna give it like a little tap on top with the other hand. I think that's half true, Ira.
Arturi says as he's in the process of standing up, I'll go guess false. And begins to put on an overcoat that he grabs from a nearby stool. I agree. False. True. There's some damn big dogs around here.
True.
Has everyone voted?
Well, people really brought their A game is all I'm just saying. These stories are great. I'm gonna guess that's terrifyingly true right there.
Nyne's gonna look at Ira. True.
Huh? Got you. It's false.
Damn! You did.
It's just
You.
It's a dream. It's just a dream that I've had. I don't even think there are any lakes near Bridgewater. You should have known that. Looks over at Stanimir, and Stanimir kind of reclines back a little, leaning onto someone else who was sitting down behind him, putting his hands behind his head. I still think that I was right when I said true. Many dreams have truth to them.
I agree with Stanimir. I'm just saying.
Sorry to leave right after the festivities, but it was a pleasure to meet all of you. And to the rest of the Vista who are still there, thank you. Thank you all for letting me share your fire.
I'll walk you to the door.
You're not gonna stay?
No, I can't. I've been selfish, even staying as long as I have. And I've pushed my...
What does that even mean? Well, why do you have to go? Did you say not to leave?
He gives you a sad smile. I'm a liability every hour I stay here. Let me just thank you for letting me stay and leave. Don't make it complicated.
Alright. Dude, well, I hope to see you soon or later down the road.
Hawthorne's gonna stand up, put his arm around him in a friendly way, and go, "Hey man, don't you want to tell us just one more story? I mean, you seem like you got this story that you just want to get off your chest here."
Karina is going to put her hand on Hawthorne's shoulder. I think we've had enough stories for tonight. Let the man go.
Thank you. Thank you all. Sincerely. Be safe out there. Know you all will be. Gives a grin over to the Vista, a few of whom raise glasses to him or come to shake his hand. But you, 5, 6, you be safe out there too. There are rats around. Heads to the door, opens, and leaves. And that's where we will close.
Okay.
Oh, hit me.
Because I was going to ask if I can do one thing.
Yes.
As I was standing near where this little thing was having, I want to have tried to slip the paper about werewolves into my pocket.
You don't even know where it
the
is.
pot.
He didn't put it in
It's
the
in
pot.
the pot.
Nope. He never took it out.
I thought you said he put it on the pot.
Nope. He never pulled it out. He just said he offered it. But, seeing as how he lost, he would, before leaving, even just hand it to you.
Okay. Then she will take it.
This is for whoever ended up winning. I know it wasn't me.
Of course. Do you want any more? And she's just going to kind of like gesture to the pipe before he leaves.
He looks at it with just the smallest amount of visible temptation. No, I don't think that's a good idea. You all have been very kind to me. And he reaches down, because you stopped him before he got outside, he reaches down and he scratches the ears of the bar cat. Like I said, watch out for rats. And as he opens the door and walks out into the rainy, dark night, leaving you all here in the bar and billiard hall, that's where we'll close tonight's episode. Ooh, great job, everyone! And since you all didn't get to have an opportunity to utilize the bennies each one of you got for this amazing story that you told, 2 things. 1, at the start of next session, you'll all start with an additional benny. Just carry it over, because why not? Also, you all advance. So you are going to be starting 2025 1 level higher. So, those of you in the stream, thank you so much for being here. Those of you here playing this game and telling this story, thank you for doing that. It means the absolute world to me. Before all of you here in the stream go anywhere, please don't, so that we can raid and share the love. But I want to give everyone here the opportunity to say where you can find these wonderful, talented people, what you're up to, all of that. Lauren, would you like to lead us off while I pet this cat?
I'm doing stuff in places. I am forever on Thousand Faces Cosplay, as well as 95% Lauren on Instagram and all other places. You can find me here most of the time. Rolling some dice, digital or otherwise. So look out for that. I'm also really excited about, I don't know, kind of getting out there and doing things for myself. Maybe hiking more, enjoying more of nature, taking time for myself, unwinding, not just taking everything boom, 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 boom all the time. Just really trying to savor the moment. Let's see how well I do there. But if you want to follow along for all my blunders and shenanigans, you can do so in those places. Thanks, friends.
Mav, where can the
Hey,
wonderful people
everyone.
find you?
Hey everyone, it's your favorite Blackout Internet here. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out with us here. Bringing in the new year. Appreciate you. But you can find me here on DigitalClubhouseTV. Most of the week playing video games. Tomorrow night, actually, me and the homies are going to be doing a New Year's Eve stream. Starting at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be playing a lot of cool little party games. That includes Helldivers 2, Marvel Rivals, and we're going to end the night off with Fortnite because they have a wonderful New Year's Eve event that happens later on that night. So one of the voices you'll hear is the wonderful The Mallow Man as well, because he's
Hell
been
yeah.
joining us lately as well. And I will be serving cunt as Mother in Marvel Rivals because I went 54 and 3 in one match as Scarlet Witch. So, let's get it. But yeah, thanks.
Love it. Matty?
Hey everyone, I am Mithril Cosplays, and I've been working on some really big projects for the first time in years. So if you want to check out my progress, I mostly just post them on my Instagram stories at like 4 a.m. because I have problems. But it's been really, really fun, and I can't wait to bring more awesome cosplays to the world. I also make dice, if anyone likes dice, and sell spice. Bye.
Well done. Anna Margaret.
Hello, my name's Anna Margaret. You can find me everywhere online at It's Anna Margaret. I guess one exciting thing I'll say is one of my very favorite TCGs is called Altered. It's the Altered TCG, and I will be revealing a card from their new set very soon. They picked this card especially for me, and I am so excited.
That's awesome.
So I will be doing kind of a fun reveal of a new card.
That's so cool. That's so cool. And Sally.
Oh, it's me. Hey, I'm SallyQuinnCreations, pretty much everywhere. We've been taking a little bit of a break, and we'll come back after I, of course, go on vacation. But we have a Wonder Woman that we're trying to paint on my best friend at some point soon, and then other things in the makings for 2025. But I just hope everyone is resetting and, just sort of rounding out their year in a happy way. And thank you so much, Ethan, for doing this for us, because this was a lot of fun.
Absolute blast. And you can find me here, rolling dice, or on the podcast, Go Buff Yourself, on TikTok, the Buff DM, lots of different places. The link is in the Twitch chat, but I don't want to belabor any announcements. I just want to tell you all, I hope you have a wonderful New Year's. I hope you finish up 2024. Oh, Matty.
Because Ethan didn't mention it, he also does Start Play, which means if you want to play D&D with this lovely DM, you can. And Mothership, and they look super fun. He is noob friendly. He's a wonderful DM. He will walk you through it. Check it out.
Check out their Instagram story. They have all their links.
And I pinned that in the chat as well.
This is really great motivation for me to hype myself up, because it makes me so much less uncomfortable when I do it myself than hearing other people praise me. So, yes, it's true. There are games for sign up on Start Playing Games. If you want to learn how to play Mothership, even if you know how to play Mothership, if you want to learn how to play D&D, or if you know how to play D&D, we got several different options there for you. But back to you all. I hope you have a wonderful New Year's. I hope you end 2024 happily. Start 2025 even happier. And we will see you the first Saturday in 2025 for The Wild Beyond episode 46, I think. And Identico will be back. We will be back. But we love you all. I'm going to start a raid. There we go. And until we see you next time, next year, take care of yourselves. Be good to yourselves. We love you. And go buff yourself. See you next year, friends.